we've made it almost a half hour without saying the dreaded Paisley Underground word.
Okay.
Um,
They're not dreaded. It's a
and
term.
now I'm going to say it. Yeah, I think less about that term because, I think like genre and those types of terms, they're not that interesting to dig into, especially with an artist. I think what I'm more interested in as it relates to that term is how much of a part of a scene did you feel you were? Or again, is that just all something that gets layered on in retrospect? Were you part of a community of musicians or was it like you and a band of brothers?
Yeah, I think scene is probably a very good way of putting it. I think I heard Danny Benair say that. It wasn't really a genre as much as it was a scene. And, I once said, and this is true, all the plumbers in Fontana know each other too. And we were musicians in Los Angeles at a particular time. There were kindred spirits that we ran into, and it was very supportive. And so when I think of, the Bangles and the 3 o'clock and Dream Syndicate, Green on Red and the Long Riders, and there are other bands there too. Yeah, those were kindred spirits. We felt we were playing the same clubs at the same time, but we played with the other people too. I guess we were the freshmen and we played with the seniors like Los Lobos and, X and the Blasters or like the Plugs. And I remember Tito Lariva was a super, super friendly, nice guy, or a guy like Dave Alvin, who's a sweetheart. And other people were kind of like, whatever. And it's certainly a different kind of music. And we played with them too. So I don't necessarily, they really would never say they were part of whatever the heck it was that we did.
Yeah.
They were a little earlier. And those are all legit cool bands, and X, and they were great. And Circle Jerks, all good stuff. I don't think we played with the Circle Jerks, but some of the earlier Paisley bands, like, say, Green on Red, Dream Syndicate, Salvation Army, those guys were more of the garagey type. Of course, anybody played with the Bangles for obvious reasons. They were amazing. And so that had a little bit more crossover. But the ones that we truly identified were the people who were like our age, right? So, and that is that peer group, say, Dave Alvin or John Doe, who I don't know. Those guys are probably a few years older than we are. And there were some guys in our scene who might be almost that old, but most of us were 5 to 10 years younger. So that it makes sense that we would be in the same position at the same time. So I don't think that term is bad. It's a little silly, but it's people need labels, and that's kind of the label. Your parents give you a name. You don't, I guess you can change it, but that's the one you get. It does address proximity and similarity.
It's a
And
good shorthand.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with it.